Good morning, President. How are you?
Thanks, I'm fine. And how are you?
Doing very well. It's always a little bit of an adventure figuring out how to actually connect, but it's always
Okay.
amazing when it works.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. That's true. So I wish you all the best from West Pomerania region, from Szczecin. Today we have a beautiful sun, so we are a little bit more optimistic.
Very nice. Well, when we were waiting to connect with you, I gave you a bit of a longer introduction, and so maybe
Okay,
I would just go ahead and start right away with the first question.
okay.
A big welcome to you, a big welcome to all of our viewers, and thank you so much for the time that you're taking to join us this morning.
Yeah.
We've started all of these interviews by asking our different leaders just a more personal question in this time when so many things are unusual, when people are at home, they're having to work from home. You know, everybody's struggling a bit. So how have you been doing? How have you been coping? What for you has been a typical day like?
You know, maybe I start with describing the situation in Poland. You know, right now in Poland we have something like 40,000 of confirmed coronavirus cases and 700 of deaths and more than 4,000 of recovered. It is still not much in comparison with another European countries. So we managed to flatten this wave, but we still don't know if we will reach the peak. Yesterday, the European Commission underlined that in 4 European countries, including Poland, situation is still that coronavirus is not decreasing. So we are at the same level. We don't have, and on the other hand, I have to admit that our ruling party, the Law and Justice, right now, is more interested in preparing presidential election than to fighting with the coronavirus. So, in the fact, as we have problems with our government on freedom of speech, in relation of COVID as well, because, for example, the Ministry of Health even tried to prevent the medical personnel from commenting on pandemic. So, and we still don't have as many tests as should we have. We don't know what is reality. Maybe we have a much more cases in Poland. Some specialists suggest that it can be even for as much the cases in reality. So in my region, fortunately, we don't have many confirmed cases. We have something like 400 confirmed cases, 10 deaths. But of course, we have a lot to do, because you have to be aware that in Poland, regional authorities are in charge of hospitals. So we are in the first front line fighting with the coronavirus. Our hospitals are in the front line. So we are trying to supply, to provide them with all equipment, all individual protective measures, and so on and so on. And on the other hand, we have to think about our economy, because of course my region, maybe you don't know where West Pomerania is located. It is I would say the most beautiful Polish region, but you know, some of my colleagues have a different opinion. But objectively speaking, my region, it is located on the Baltic Sea. So we have 180 kilometers of beautiful seashore, and on the other hand, as we are on the north west part on Poland, we are bordering region, so we have quite similar bordering line with Germany. So we have 175 kilometers of border. So as you can expect, one of the biggest part of our economy, it is tourism, which was locked down in the first moment. So right now we suffer really in this economic dimension. And on the other hand, I think that you are aware that Poland implemented one of the most restrictive law regarding to passing through the borders. Of course, you can go abroad, but when you come back to Poland, you are obliged to have 14 days of quarantine. So it is obligatory. So in our region, it is very, very difficult because a lot of people decided, for example, right now I'm sitting in my office. My office is in the heart of our capital city of Szczecin. From this point, we have something like 15 kilometers to Polish-German border. So a lot of people, even Polish citizens, when we, after our accession to European Union, decided to move on the other side of border, and they are living in Germany and they are working in Szczecin. And in the other way around, a lot of people living in Szczecin is working on the other side of border. So such a huge restriction regarding to crossing the border are really very painful, and fortunately since yesterday they decided to allow people just to go for work, but not for all the people. For example, all doctors and medical staff still cannot go abroad without obligatory quarantine. So believe me, we have a lot to do right now as a regional levels, fighting with the coronavirus crisis in this healthcare and economic dimension.
President, I wanted to touch on something you've just mentioned and ask you a follow-up about Poland. But first, I just want to say again, welcome to our viewers, in particular some friends, Raluca, Giuseppe, Margarita, Grigor. A viewer named Valentina has just commented something agreeing with your analysis of what's been happening about the security situation and borders, I think. So my follow-up would just be maybe briefly if you could give us an update on the state of play regarding the elections this Sunday. And then I want to, of course, focus on your work in the Committee of the Regions.
Okay. You know, I'm laughing because, but on the other hand, it is not funny situation. You know, we are just 5 days before election, and actually, even as ordinary voters, we don't know what to do. We don't know what they are going to do because they try to force some solution to do it as a postal election, as you know. But right now, still we don't. Maybe on Thursday, 3 days before election, our parliament can adopt such a law. So, in my opinion, it is completely impossible to perform these elections. You know, it is very complicated administrative procedure. You have to take care about every voter. And do it in the postal way, it is very risky on one hand, because still you have, for example, a protest from postmen who don't want to deliver 30 million of packages for voters, and it is very difficult to count it in the end of the day. So there are a million of obstacles, but they push this solution forward because they believe that it is last moment when they can win win election. It is risky. It is risky for people life, people's health. So and on the other hand, the moment of election, in the fact, in democracy, it is the final. It is the final ceremony. If you don't have a political campaign, because when they decided to lock down our social life, our candidates couldn't meet with voters, couldn't convince them to their rights, to their views. So right now it looks like, final of Olympic Games without Olympic Games. When you perform the election in such a way, it is some kind of there are not real democratic elections. So that's why my party, Civic Platform, decided to, and a lot of Democrats in Poland decided to boycott votes if it will be the boycott elections. It will be performed in such a way.
Let's transition now to talking about your work as president of the EPP Group and the European Committee of the Regions. And we have, there are 4 sort of main questions I'd like to ask you. We have about 10 minutes for this part of the interview.
Okay.
So my first question is just a more general one, not necessarily related to the coronavirus crisis. And that is, for anybody who doesn't know, for any of our viewers who might be watching this live or who will be watching it later who don't know, could you explain something about your institution, about the group within the institution, and tell people why is your group in particular so important in bridging the gap between citizens at the ground level and the policies being made in Brussels?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so firstly about the European Committee of Regions as an institution, because I don't know that it is maybe not very not many people are familiar with our institution, but it is, I would say, very, very important place for a discussion of local and regional authorities from all around Europe, because it is political assembly composed of 329 full members and 329 alternates. So and they represent the local and regional authorities from very small commune to the huge cities and huge regions. So from all around the Europe. As we implement, we estimate something like 70% of EU legislations. I think that we are really a very important voice in discussion how the European legislation should looks like. And few words about our EPP COR group. We have 113 full members right now and 99 alternates. So we are the biggest political group in this political assembly. In COR we have 4 political groups, as I said. We are the biggest one right now. The president of whole COR, Mr. Tzitzikostas, president of Central Macedonia region, comes from EPP. So we are right now the leading political group. I would say that that we are some kind of bridge between citizens on very bottom in all around the Europe and and the Brussels, because you know, from the perspective of ordinary people all around Europe, still Brussels is far, far away. And we, as mayors, as presidents, are very close. If we understand what is going on in Europe, we are really a good advocate on the bottom level, advocates of European idea. So I always said that it is worth to include us, because frankly speaking, right now I think that that we all know that if somebody who is who criticize European idea the most often, I think that national governments try to do it in many cases. We can see it even during this pandemic crisis. And who is a real advocate of European idea? I would say that people on the in the cities, leader in the cities regions. So that's I think that we are very important as a COR, as a political assembly composed with the mayors, presidents. We are very important in reducing this gap between this far away Brussels and our cities, villages.
Well, let me pick up on that idea of cities and villages and regions and towns. And I will just, first of all, pass along from Dominique, I believe his name is, one of our viewers, a compliment, appreciating your leadership as compared to that of the Polish authorities. So the question, my next question would be relating to the ground level that you mentioned with all of your EPP members. A few days ago, it was very interesting. The EPP Group and the Committee of the Regions posted an article entitled Fighting COVID-19 in Your Village, City, and Region. And you gave a lot of different examples of regions and cities all across Europe, led by EPP mayors and governors. I thought actually I would mention, maybe very quickly mention some of them because you have such a strong network and they might appreciate the shout out. So you mentioned regions like Bavaria, Tipperary, Lombardy, Kostice, Attica, Hesse, Pays de la Loire, Central Macedonia, Overijssel, Andalusia, Matsofia, Sicily, Piemonte, Madeira, your own of West Pomerania, Dubrovnik, Neretva, and Hargita, and then cities like Sofia, Warsaw, where of course our EPP friend Rafael Trzaskowski is mayor, Gdansk, Athens, Espoo, Madrid, Dresden, Braga, Cluj-Napoca, Gdynia, and many others. I can't mention all of them, but just when you look at all of these different regions and cities and towns across the continent, what are some of the positive solutions EPP leaders are putting forward at ground level that they should be aware of? Just could you give us some examples of this?
You know, in effect, of course, in all European countries, we have a different level of responsibilities as regional authorities or as local authorities. But what is common? For us, the common is that we have to, frankly speaking, in fact, we have to fight in reality on this bottom level with the coronavirus crisis, because in many countries the cities and regions are responsible for hospitals. So we are fighting. We are looking for good examples how to right now provide them with the equipment we have. That we all are aware that there are a huge problems with the equipment because we have a lack of devices, of as I said, individual protective measures as well. So we decided, as an EPP COR group, we decided to create some kind of to create a website and present on this website the best practices, good examples, just to learn each other, just to find some good solutions. Because on the other hand, we all know that still we have to face with a economic crisis caused by this pandemic, and this economy crisis have two dimensions. On one hand, we have to support our local economies, our business, our SMEs, and of course we can do it using our budgets or using EU funds as well. So we exchange how to do it quickly, efficiently, without without bureaucracy. Because right now we know that it is all about time. Because they say that time is money, and right now we know that really time is money. Because if we cannot support quickly and efficiently our SMEs, they have to close down their companies. They have to fire people, and we know that that we have to find good, quick solutions to go through this 2, 3, maybe more months until they defrost the economy. So we exchange our good practices, how to do it efficiently, because of as I said, in all countries we have a little bit different systems, different level of competences, but on the other hand we have the same, we are facing the same problems in the end of the day. So I would like to encourage you to visit our website. It is epp.cor.europe.eu, and you can find a really very good examples how to manage with the problems we have to face in reality in our the communes, in our cities, in our regions all around Europe.
I think maybe that's a good note to finish this particular portion of the interview on, this policy portion, on the idea of practical solutions being put forward by the EPP family in towns and cities and regions all across Europe. So thank you so much for that. And you mentioned SMEs and their importance. Tomorrow we have the opportunity to be speaking with the president of SME Europe, our EPP Association, Ivan Stefanic. So we're looking forward to that. If I could, I would ask you one final personal, more informal question to finish this interview, like we have with all of our other EPP leaders. And that is, as the president of EPP Group and the Committee of the Regions, do you yourself have a favorite city or region that you like to visit, or that you're looking forward to visiting once all of these restrictions are over, maybe inside of Poland and outside of Poland?
You know, inside of Poland, I told you that we have the most beautiful region. So in my region, you have not only the 180 kilometers of beautiful seashore, you have great possibilities to sailing. I'm a sailor, so that's why it is especially interesting for me. So we have a lot of marinas and relatively good infrastructure. But if you love forest, we have 35% of our region covered by the beautiful forest. So we have thousands of lakes, rivers. So really, in my region, frankly speaking, it is all you need. But on the other hand, I'm missing the Europe, because Europe is a beautiful and very diverse continent. So I was going to visit this with my family, to visit this year the beautiful Andalusia region with a lot of great historic places. I don't know if I can do it. Maybe not. Maybe not this year. But I know that there are a lot of beautiful places all around the Europe. So we have to be patient and pray to God to have the possibility to visit all these beautiful places as soon as possible.
Well, we hope you and your family are able to visit Andalusia in the near future, in the not too distant future, and we hope that we might see you in person at one of our meetings at some point in the not too distant future in Brussels as well. Mr. Olgierd Geblewicz, President of the EPP Group and the European Committee of the Regions, thank you so much for your time, for taking the time to speak with us today. And on behalf of the EPP, thank you for the important work that you're doing.
Thank you very much. It was my pleasure. All the best. Stay healthy.
And to all of our viewers, thank you for tuning in to this breakfast edition, this special edition of EPP Family Talks. Please join us again tomorrow at 5:30, Wednesday, May the 6th. For our next episode, we will be speaking with the President of SME Europe and member of the European Parliament, Ivan Stefanich. Thank you very much. Have a great day and see you then.
Thank you.